Oh, yes. Can you believe it? In less than 24 hours, we have playoff basketball. Let that sink in as we welcome you to our NBA Today playoff preview. I'm Malika Andrews, and over the next hour, we are going to dive into each and every series that tip off this weekend. And we know 6 of the 8 matchups, right? They're set. Tonight, we get the final 2 play-in games that's going to determine who the number 1 seed, the Pistons, and the reigning champs, the Thunder, are going to play. As OKC starts that quest to repeat, they want to become the first time the champs have repeated since the Warriors did it 8 seasons ago. As we say hello to my partners, Shanae Agumake, Danny Green. Let's break this down, my friend. Let's roll through what we do know, and we're going to start in the West here. Here we know we have the San Antonio Spurs, Victor Wembanyama, in the playoffs for the first time, facing the Blazers. And then, this is a matchup we've seen a couple of times, right, over the last couple of seasons. The Timberwolves, the Nuggets, get your popcorn. And then we got the OG matchup here with LeBron James and Kevin Durant facing off. Right, that's kind. The legends. What's most intriguing to you, Shanae, out West?
You know I love OGs as an Ogwumake, but I'm going to pivot here, and I'm really excited about this one right here because Anthony Edwards has a target list. He likes to take out legends. We've seen it with KD and Book in the postseason. We've seen it. I know it was a Steph-less Warriors for the most part, but he still took them down. He took down LeBron and Luka Doncic. And so overall, when you think about Anthony Edwards, these are the moments that legends are made.
Yep.
He's so young, but the potential is already there for him to make more history.
That's a little stink face you gave it over.
Oh, you don't agree?
No, I mean, I think it's going to be fun, lights, camera, action, but Minnesota, to me, has not been that great, and Denver's been really good. But I do want to see Anthony Edwards against Denver. He does take out Giants.
It's always fun when these two play. All right, that's the West. How about we switch over to the East here, Danny? How many times...
Impress me, Danny.
Do you
I'm not as impressive as you.
Do you think these two teams, the Celtics and 76ers, have played in the postseason?
Yes.
Ever?
How many times?
Yeah, 23
I was going to say 40.
I didn't think that's a lot.
Yeah, that's the most in NBA history. And then we get the Hawks and the Knicks. No, it's not Trae Young back in the Garden, but these two, there's some bad blood there.
Atlanta's hooping.
And it's not LeBronto, but we do get the Cavaliers facing a team that they struggled with in the regular season, the Toronto Raptors. Who are you watching in this
Normally, I would say that 23 times, you said 23 times.
Yeah,
right?
23 times.
But no Joel Embiid. We don't know what he's looking like.
Right.
So it's not as exciting to me. I'm going to go with this 4-5 matchup here in Toronto.
Oh, curveball.
Why? Because these guys have a lot to prove. There's a lot of pressure on James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. This was a team that had high expectations. They were supposed to be a number 1 or 2 seed, even before James got there. And since he's been there, they've been very up and down. They haven't had a lot of minutes on the road together. Jared Allen's been out. James has been out. Evan Mobley's not. Donovan, they've only had like 10, maybe 11 games together as a whole. And Toronto has the season. They're leading them in the season. They won the season series. Sorry. Stumbling here. But that was early November, so it's a totally 2 different teams.
Correct.
But they have nothing to lose, so this is going to be a battle, and Cleveland has a lot to prove.
I can't wait. The first round gets underway this weekend, but let's take a look at the odds. This is according to DraftKings Sportsbook for the title winners, going all the way to the end. And yes, of course, it's the Thunder that are the strong favorites at plus 110. They're followed, though, by the Spurs, who jumped the Celtics. They are favored, though, to win the Eastern Conference. And earlier today, we got to hear from Jason Tatum on being back in the postseason.
I didn't even know if I was going to play this year, so I get the opportunity to, be a part of the team and play in the playoffs. I couldn't be more grateful.
Tatum is Tatum, man. Tatum is Tatum. That's the good thing about the great ones, regardless if they're limited or if they're not all the way themselves. They just adapt to the game. It's one game at a time, and that's really just how I'm looking at it. However, the chips settle, but can't win a championship without winning the first one, so we just got to stack some wins.
That's true. It's going to be great, though, to see JT back in the postseason. This is what he's been working to come back for, right? But when we're looking at the biggest storylines just of this first round, Sinead, he's certainly one. Is there another you're looking at?
Oh, I'm so excited. For one player in particular. I'm always excited all the time.
But this player, supersized player?
It is. Absolutely. What will Wemby do? What will Wemby do? My claim to fame this season, maybe people slept on it, was before the All-Star break and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was out, I said Victor Wembanyama is the most dominant player right now in the NBA. And hey, he made me look really smart because the second half of the season, he has been sensational. When he's played, the Spurs are 22-2 post-All-Star.
Yep. And
he's been averaging 26 and 12. It's not what you do, it's how you do it, dominating all facets. And so we've been waiting for a moment for Victor to really have a breakout when it comes to games that matters most. And so I'm excited to see what he'll do in the postseason.
I mean, he's a superstar. We're all excited to see Wemby. But against Portland, I'm not as excited. I think they should beat them at 5 games.
Which means he's going to have big games.
For sure. It's Portland, but I'm excited to see Wemby.
You're overlooking Donovan Clingan just like that.
Yeah, right. I shouldn't. Donovan Clingan has definitely stepped up his game. He's been very good. But for me, who I'm looking at is the storyline of the Charlotte Hornets. And I hope they come out of this playing because we want to see that smoke with Charlotte and Detroit. I mean, Cade Cunningham's come back. They've had some. You see LaMelo talk crazy to certain guys on Detroit bench, Isaiah Stewart, whoever it is, Moussa Diabate, Miles Bridges. Kobe White's been playing at a high level, but Charlotte, to me, has been the best storyline of the second half of the season, if not the season. They could turn this around and get to that 8th seed and maybe put Detroit in a 6-game playoff series. This would be a heck of a year for this group.
You're looking at an 8 seed. I'm looking at the defending champions, the #1 overall seed. Malika, you mentioned how long it's been since we've had a repeat champion. 7 champs over the last 7 years. Is itty-bitty Oklahoma City going to be the ones? It's a tiny little market. It's a tiny little market. Are they going to be the ones to end that trend? And, yeah, I'm excited about Wemby, but let's go north on I-35. Let's go north in the standings, and they might collide in the conference finals. But Oklahoma City, is this the next dynasty? If it is, you know, you got to repeat.
And history says that they got a pretty good shot at being able to do so, right? Because when you take a look at #1 seeds, they've won the title 64% of the time since seeding began back in the mid-'80s. And that includes, of course, the last 3 champions. So no repeat since the Golden State Warriors did it in 2018. And Danny, you've been on title teams that have mounted their comeback to try to do it again. It is hard to win consecutive titles. What do you think is going to be the thing that stands in Oklahoma's path? Because it's easy to just say OKC is going to do this again. It's much more difficult than that.
No, it's harder to win a championship the second time around.
Really?
Yes, the target is bigger on your chest. Everybody's giving you their best shot. Teams are gearing up to change their rosters to beat you, to be like you, to take your formula and do it against you. So every team, especially the Spurs or the Denver Nuggets, have geared up for this Oklahoma City Thunder type of team. Golden State's been great, and we've seen some good things from them. I don't know if they have that yet, but I'm interested to see them in this playing game because they have some things that I'm looking forward to seeing.
In order to repeat as champions, I think they have to get back to that blueprint of having their X factor be the Robin, right? We already know who the Batman is, the probably front runner, of course, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for MVP, but people undercount what J-Dub did in that finals run. I'll never forget, rent-free in my brain, the 40-piece Game 5 of the NBA Finals that really helped OKC break through because at that point, they were sort of going toe-and-toe, neck-and-neck with the Pacers, and they needed someone to take the pressure off of the SGA. And he delivered. J-Dub averaged 23 and 6 in the NBA Finals. Now, this year, it was different because he missed a lot of games, and Chet Holmgren has stepped up in that void. But still, is that consistency or lack thereof going to impact them on their second goal? Right?
And Dub did that with a shooting wrist that needed surgery that caused him to miss the first 19 games. It really bothered him for a lot of the season. Then he had the hamstring problems. He's as healthy as he's been all season.
That's good news.
They got a big-time break, OKC did, on the last day of the regular season when the brackets broke, right? Because it looked like they were going to have to go through both Denver and San Antonio just to get back to the finals. Now, the way the brackets are set up, Denver and San Antonio are going to have a slugfest should that series happen in the second round. With Oklahoma City, I'm not saying they're getting a bye. I'm just saying I cannot see Houston or the wounded Lakers being able to end OKC's run.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. So they're thanking the basketball gods for that. You know, San Antonio really, I wouldn't say dropped the ball, but I don't think they're running from smoke. They're preparing themselves for that matchup. I think when it comes down to it, OKC, these matchups are not going to prepare for them when they get to the Western Conference Finals against a Denver or a San Antonio team because they had it so easy. So this might be a gift and a curse. We don't know.
I do hope we get to see at some point Oklahoma City and San Antonio in the postseason. That just feels like the regular season matchups we got. There is no other matchup that you watch that had quite the same feel of, man, I hope we get this in the NBA Finals. But aside from that, I don't know about y'all, there's nothing that gets me more excited for the postseason than watching some highlights
of the top
all-time playoff moments. Yeah, this is the top of the top, game 1, round 1 over the years. There was plenty to choose from, but this is what we distilled it down to. This is 1993. Pippen saves it to Jordan.
Got the mitts.
Oh, look at that.
That's it with one hand.
That's the baseball catch right there.
Are you serious?
Not everyone can shoot mid-range off the glass like Jordan, though.
Palming it on the way down right into a jumper.
How about 2011? This is the Mavs at the Thunder.
I was here for this one.
KD.
You see, I thought that was one
bounce.
Over
one-hand
2
finish.
Defenders.
Look at this.
Sean Marion.
That was a push shot.
Let me see that friendly roll.
Jan
Let me see
Mahimi.
that friendly roll.
Janae, this one's for you.
Okay,
2003. How about some T-Mac, right?
Oh, my gosh. This is when I grew up watching basketball in the Cypress, Texas. The CYP. But, yeah, that was my team. That was my guy.
That's Bron in high school there in the stands.
Gotta put down the nachos. What the hell just happened?
Everyone needs a snack. How about the Suns and Spurs? Same year, 2003. Suns down 2, 5 seconds left. Stephon Marbury. Did he call glass?
Bank is open.
Bank's open for the win.
I know that was Starberry.
Had to be during the week. Bank was open.
I was going to say something, but I have to save it for commercial.
Oh, man. At number 1, get the bleep button ready. Blazers, Lakers, this is 1998.
Watch
Shaq
out.
Oh, no.
Talk about catches. Mitts.
rumbling down the lane there for this
Hey, you
playoff.
can't jump there. You cannot jump there.
We got to get some more of these types of highlights this weekend. This is just the beginning. Hey, coming up here on our playoff preview, do we get a swarm warning coming into the Magic Kingdom? We have the keys for Charlotte to keep their storybook season alive. McMahon, you're sticking with this as just a layover to Cancun here?
Yeah, but I forgot the games in Orlando.
Plus, will the Suns be able to stop one of the lethal two-man game between? If by this you mean the play-in tournament, then heck yeah, it's win or go home tonight. And in the East, you have LaMelo Ball, who is in action. And the Hornets, they're looking to sting Paolo Banchero and the Magic. Remember, the winner of this game, they're going to be the 8th seed, and they're going to face the Pistons. And over in the West, Steph Curry and the Warriors taking on Devin Booker and the Suns. The winner will have the luxury, will have the privilege of facing the Thunder.
Itty bitty.
And you see the Warriors moments ago, they held this optional shoot around. Al Horford, he was the hero in that fourth quarter, hitting a lot of threes. Of course, Draymond showed up on the defensive end. He was huge as well. So let's get set for this one as we say hello to Anthony Slater, who covers the Warriors for us, and he is in sunny Phoenix. So, Slater, what's the mindset here for Golden State as they head into this matchup that they absolutely need to win?
Yeah, Malika, you were there the other night. There was a celebratory atmosphere post-game, but it was also an achy atmosphere post-game. I mean, this is an older team. The Clippers have a really nice, visiting locker room village, and the Warriors were using it. And I mean, Steph Curry's recovery circuit probably took about 90 minutes, 36 minutes, which is a few more than he was supposed to play, right? That's only the 4th time this year he's reached that much. They did not practice yesterday. They flew. You mentioned the optional shoot-around. I did not see Steph at it today. It seems like he's kind of prioritizing the rest. But they know the stakes tonight. They also know who they're going against. Dillon Brooks, a long-time Steph Curry nemesis. If you remember last playoffs against the Rockets, Steph Curry had a thumb issue, and Dillon Brooks was, hitting it after shots. It was something the Warriors were pretty upset about. So they know Brooks is going to come in, play really physical with Steph tonight. It's a short turnaround, but, Steph Curry with these stakes, even with the bulky knee, I mean, we've seen what he can do.
Yeah, I mean, Dillon Brooks is somewhere hearing, achy Golden State Warriors, and doing that stare down that he does before every single game. You mentioned the achiness. Kristaps Porzingis, he had 20 points, was huge on Wednesday against the Clippers, but he's questionable here with ankle soreness. Is this a true questionable? How likely is it that we see him out there?
Yeah, again, Porzingis it's always tough because he's been ruled out of games that you expect him to play. But everything as of this hour, I'm hearing from the Warriors is an expectation. Kristaps Porzingis, despite the ankle soreness, will play. He was limping the other night. He had it taped up post game. And Draymond Green, had his own issues, but he's been cleared to play. But yeah, I do expect Porzingis out there. And if Steph Curry does miss 12 minutes of the 48, Porzingis needs to be that second scorer.
Yeah, Porzingis was so big for them, and having as close to healthy of a roster as they can, they're going to need that against Phoenix. Slater, we appreciate it. Enjoy tonight's game. Steph Curry, he is quickly becoming the king of the play-in. He's gone for at least 35 points in 4 of his 5 career play-in games. That's, of course, in large part thanks to the two-man game between Steph and Draymond, which my girl Shanae, she saw that coming. Clippers, she tried to warn you before the last game. Previously on NBA Today.
Steph Curry and Draymond Green work extremely well together offensively. This is how you get a shooter some looks. Slam screens here creates a wide open window. This is the last thing you want to see if you're an opposing coach. Steph with that much room, it's just a layup for him. They generate the most points per direct handoff. This is the best two-man action.
Again, this was before they played the Clippers. So teams know it's coming, Jeanette. You tried to tell them. So Phoenix, pay attention here. It's them that has the task of stopping that. What is Phoenix facing?
Let's turn the page because the Golden State Warriors had the advantage versus the Clippers bigs, but versus the Phoenix Suns, it's a completely different story because the Suns defensively can play small ball. These are the actions that created Steph Curry's 35-point night. The drop coverage by the bigs for the Clippers, that's barbecue chicken for Steph. Instead, for the Suns, they have people that can switch. Their small defensive lineup with Brooks, Iguodala, if you think about it, Dunn, number of players, O'Neal, that can get up around the three-point line and close the gap. Now, this is the crazy slam screen. How how does he pass it behind his back like that? They just know each other better than anybody else. Here, he's going to attack the open side. When you have your high foot up there, Steph is just going to make sure it rains from three. But the Suns actually have better defenders for that small ball action. Now, you guys know I love stats. I love numbers, but sometimes they just blow your mind. We know Steph does damage with his feet. He runs more than any player to get his threes, but Steph Curry also has the shortest average gather and duration, which is catch and shoot on three-point attempts this season at 0.63 seconds per Genius IQ. So he combines the movement and speed with super fast form. Good luck guarding that, Dylan Brooks. I know you're going to use all your tactics up your sleeve.
Absolutely, he is going to, as the Warriors try to become just the second 10 seed to make the playoffs through the play-in. So if that is going to be what Phoenix needs to slow down, the key to this game tonight is going to come down to what, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Dylan Brooks is going to be a main character.
Always.
And he loves
Always.
that. And by the way, this ain't new. He has knocked out the Warriors in this last play-in game before, 2021, when he was with the Grizzlies. And he's got, Slater mentioned, he's got some history. Last year with the Rockets going after the thumb, you'll recall the 2022 series with Memphis when that's a cheap shot on a chase down. The Warriors did not take kindly to that.
I like that.
Him and Draymond have had their share of beef over the years as defensively dominant, big personalities. But Dylan Brooks, he talked yesterday after practice about how much he looks forward to the challenge of Steph and Draymond and Steve Kerr. This is a dude that pokes bears, and there's a couple of bears in the building tonight.
Yeah, for sure. For me, it's the others of Golden State. We've seen from Al Horford and Santos, even Porzingis, if they continue to play like that, we could see a Miami run in the West, coming from playing games in 18 and possibly beating or winning some games in OKC. I won't say beating OKC.
You think they can
win
get a couple
some
of games on OKC?
But nobody expected, you don't game plan or have on a scouting report for Al Horford to have 12 points in the fourth, 4 threes. Porzingis, Santos making plays. And defensively, they were great. Draymond spectacular, but those guys were involved in every defensive action. They blitzed Kawhi. They showed crowds. Kawhi did not feel comfortable enough. Draymond did great on Kawhi, but those guys were very heavily involved in every defensive situation. And
this is why, as Steve Kerr said, Steph Curry came back to play meaningful basketball. Al Horford said he didn't envision it necessarily being in the play-in, but this is their path to the postseason. We're going. Janae, what if I told you Kevin Durant and LeBron James have combined for over 76,000 career regular season points?
I would say that's AI.
It's insane. It's true. This is by far the most between opposing players entering a playoff series in NBA history. But of course, LeBron, he knows it's not just about the head-to-head matchup.
It's the Rockets and have some damn good players on their team, so it's not just a KD team. It's the whole group. Obviously, like I said, KD's going to do what KD does. He's a Hall of Famer. We know that, so we have to prepare not only for him but for the whole group. What's the message? The message is get your ass in there, box out and rebound. You have a message. We all grown men, do your job.
LeBron is putting it very bluntly. Grown man, do your job. Maybe he's seen the odds. The Lakers are plus 400 underdogs in this series against the Rockets. That's actually the longest odds LeBron has faced in a first-round series in his career. But here's the thing. Whatever the odds say, there are over 2 decades of reasons to believe that LeBron James can be the one to defy them. No, we will not sing Defying Gravity, but just know that it's playing just a little bit here in my head. Danny, you've been LeBron's teammate in the postseason. What is this going to come down to?
I mean, not just I keep saying the others, but it's going to come down to Lakers.
It's because you were an other.
I was an other.
Exactly. He loves those role players.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to come down to JJ and their defense and how they kind of junk up the game against KD and company. Obviously, Amin Thompson's been point guard some, Şengün's been some, Reed Shepherd is young and growing. But they've struggled with the double team, and particularly Kevin Durant. So when they double KD, which I assume they will do, they're going to throw guys at him and try to rotate, zone up, and make him make plays and also make those other guys beat him, make him quarterback. Because they know Kevin Durant, even though he's not supposed to be, he is the head of the snake. As you see here, they're doubling him, forcing him to a turnover, backcourt violation. Another one, Rui's got him, bigger body. And then here comes Marcus Smart coming, throwing something at him. Luka's ready to go, be on a string. They got to take a deep, uncontested, or very contested, terrible three-point shot. Another one here, DeAndre Ayton's on him. They see the big, it's Luka and DeAndre Ayton. KD just concedes to the double team. I'm sure he'll make an adjustment. They've walked over some things. But the Lakers are going to force them to play in that type of half-court set.
When I covered that game, that was the baseball series that the Lakers swept in Houston. That was the first game of it. And KD came out after that game and said, hey, we probably got to figure out something else. I can't just be on the ball and be getting double-teamed. And he admitted, I didn't handle it well. He said, maybe I need to get off the ball. Maybe I need to space the floor out in the corner. Maybe I need to be setting screens. But just KD acknowledged me just as the primary initiator, them forcing the ball out of our hands and us sputtering after that. There's got to be another solution. And if there's going to be that other solution, I think Ime Udoka is going to have to trust Reed Shepherd to close games. And that's been a very case-by-case situation throughout the years because there's give and take. He can initiate. He's a shooter. He's a facilitator. He's also a bullseye for the Lakers on the defensive end. So that's going to be an interesting decision to monitor. But if the Lakers can't keep games close, they like their odds to be able to steal some games.
Yeah, you know why? Because in clutch time, they're 10 times better than Houston Rockets in clutch time. I don't know what the graphics going to say, but we'll get into that.
The 60 points a game they're missing that they're going to need that down the stretch.
Big difference. But I do trust those guys that have some experience, like Rui, Marcus Smart, DeAndre Ayton, Luke Kennard. They've been in the playoff series, but here you go. Here's the numbers in clutch time. 22 and 23.
Largely, that's with
16.
Luka and Austin, right, Shanae?
Yeah, absolutely. Respectfully, friends, respectfully again, this is not about who the Lakers don't have. This is more about who the Rockets do have. And this year, they do have Kevin Durant. And this is and I hate to put pressure on the Rockets because I understand that they were not healthy. Fred VanVleet was a key part of what they've built, and he's not available. But moving forward, you think about this Rocket squad, this is a squad that has Kevin Durant. They've improved their offense. Maybe not clutch time, but they're top 10, at least when it comes to offensively. They're top 3 when it comes to percentage of points that they score through the mid-range. That's Kevin Durant.
Right.
And so in a playoff series where a number of the stars are unavailable for the Lakers, this is their opportunity. This is honestly a gift for Houston to try to get over the hump, win in the first round. We saw what happened when they went up against a generational legend last year with the Golden State Warriors. Now you have another opportunity. It's LeBron James, but this is not the same squad that they had when they were ascending.
And I hear
my eye is on Kevin Durant.
Yep. As it should be.
Closing at least the first round, okay? The first round.
And Kevin Durant has been this is the reason they brought in Kevin Durant, is for these late game situations in the postseason in particular. We'll put the regular season aside. But it is about who is not out there for the Los Angeles Lakers. Dave McMenamin is going to be covering this series for us. Dave, the Lakers, obviously, we were just talking about it. They're not going to be at full strength here for game 1. Probably not for game 2. But how long exactly are they bracing to be without Luka and Austin?
Malika, I reported yesterday on ESPN that the Lakers have no expectation to have Luka or Austin back in the lineup at any point in the first round. It doesn't mean they've ruled out that possibility, and there's still some hope. Luka is getting back to the United States today after spending time in Spain, and Austin Reeves been with the team and undergoing treatment daily, but neither of them are anywhere close to a return as the series is about to begin. Now, the word of the day that JJ Redick used when I asked him about the mental focus the team needs to have heading into this series was elevate. It means you need to be ready to elevate your role that you're playing. You need to be ready to elevate the focus, the intensity. The coaches need to be ready to elevate their amount of preparation. JJ said him and his coaching staff, the team was off on Monday. Him and his staff came in for 6 hours to start, looking through what they could do in this series. And so they're just trying to keep all their focus on game 1. They know it's going to be a challenge. LeBron James called the Houston Rockets one of the most intimidating rebounding teams in NBA history over the last 25 years. But they feel like if they focus on the things that they can do well, they'll be able to make this thing a series.
And maybe if they can keep it a close game, you never know with Houston what's going to happen there down the stretch. Dave, thank you very much for the Today playoff preview. Let's check in on the other series to get underway that we were mentioning with a little full court press here. We're going to start in Boston. That's where the Sixers and Celtics are. Tim Bontemps, are we going to see Joel Embiid this round?
We're not going to see him in game 1, Malika, and from there on, we'll see what happens. Nick Nurse said today to reporters in Philly, his only focus is on having a good game plan for game 1. He knows he won't have Embiid then. There's a chance he could come back later in the series, but it's a matter of how he continues to recover from that appendectomy that he had last week in Houston.
Yeah, just so unlucky needing to get an appendectomy in this time here. Tim Bontemps, thank you very much. Let's go out to the 4-5 matchup between the Raptors and Cavaliers. Jamal Collier, how are Donovan Mitchell and company preparing for a team that swept them during the regular season?
With a lot of conditioning, Malika, during practice this week, the Raptors are the #1 team in the playoffs as far as transition points. but also because this team can think about last year against Indiana in that upset and the way the Pacers were able to kind of run them up and down and out of the gym in that series. That's why Donovan Mitchell said it's not just a physical conditioning they have to focus on, but also mentally to still play at their best, be disciplined when that fatigue sets in, and push past that to still be the best version of themselves.
Jamal, thank you. It's win or go home for the Hornets and the Magic tonight. Knippel, he actually posted his lowest scoring output since November in the play-in opener. So how is Charlotte planning on getting him back going here?
Malika was quite eye-opening. The potential rookie of the year, sitting out the last 142 regulation and all of overtime, going 2 for 12, 0 for 6 from 3. I asked Charles Lee this morning at shoot-around, was he hurt, banged up, or what? And he said, look, he's fine. It's just a decision that I had to go with guys that I needed at that time. It was a tough decision. I want him to focus on doing all the other things. The shooting would come. LaMelo Ball said, I don't want him to think. Just play basketball.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. I mean, yeah, benching Khan down the stretch of that game was a bold move. And if Charlotte is able to get the win on the road, it just brings an end to a season that the Magic would probably rather make, go poof, disappear.
Ooh,
Orlando would miss the playoffs despite having a minus 3,000 odds to make the postseason. Across the 4 major sports, only one franchise has had shorter odds and missed the playoffs in the last 10 seasons. It was the Lakers in 2020 time. There was this much anticipation for a playoff debut.
Long time.
23 years ago?
Maybe. Wemby is trying to become just the second player since the first few seasons of the league to win a title during his first playoff run as the team's leading scorer in the regular season. That is a tall task. We don't see that often. Here's Victor on what he expects from the postseason.
I can't really help it but dream about it, of course. But we have to stay grounded, stay in the moment. And before even thinking about game 1, I have to think about showing up the right way. I practice, doing all my stuff, preparing, being locked in on the scouts. But yeah, I dream about it every day.
As he should. And Vic says he needs to stay grounded, but we don't. We can put those high expectations. Yanni, what are you hoping to see?
What comes to mind is that first game of the season against Dallas, when I thought Dallas was going to be a good team, and he kind of dismantled that single-handedly and made AD look like a regular big man out there. When he had 40 and 15 against Anthony Davis, I was like, whoa, this kid is unbelievable. So I'm expecting that type of night from him. And I said he's been carrying it that way. He's been following his maturity, and he's speaking it, and he's talking the talk and walking the walk. So he's going to have a big night. I hope he does anyway.
There are very few players that have the ability to meet the moment. And I love watching Victor Wembanyama because anytime there's a game that matters, or maybe not so in our eyes, the All-Star game, he takes it so serious. Can you imagine what he's thinking about the postseason? The crazy thing about Victor is that from that podium, he's so polite. He's so professional. But when he's on the floor, it's like he wants to destroy everyone.
Sasha Fierce.
Sasha Fierce, baby. He's in his Beyonce era. This is him splitting from Destiny's Child. He said, I can do battle by myself. And now he's going to be one of the all-time greats. Sorry, you distracted me with
I don't think we've had Alien, we've had Unicorn, I don't think we've ever had Beyonce.
Sasha Fierce.
He can go
Victor.
full Sasha Fierce, but I think the cool thing is that he also trusts his teammates.
Yeah.
He understands he can't do it by himself. When the game calls for it, for him to knock down a shot, attack, get downhill, he'll do it, but he also has a good supporting cast, which is why we really believe in the San Antonio Spurs run.
I mean, straight up, Wemby believes he can be the best player we've ever seen, and he wants to prove that, and he needs big stages and bright lights to do that. This is not the first time he's been on a big stage with bright lights. This is a guy who, he's representing France in the Paris Olympics, playing against Team USA in the gold medal game, and balled in that game. He's not going to shy away. This brings out the best in him. And look, different circumstances in the All-Star game playing for the world team this year, but what did he do? He brought it in that game. He upped the level of competition in that game. And by the way, a teammate of his in that game was Deni Avdija, and Wemby was asked about Avdija's game and had some interesting comments that weekend.
How's he viewed? It takes a lot of free throws, so playing against him, I haven't played against him this year, but advice is to not defend without fouling.
Don't foul. Defend without fouling. And that is a lot easier said than done because Deni Avdija is a bulldozer off the dribble, a dominant driver who's going to put that big old left shoulder into guys and create the contact. I mean, look, he's going to go right, and you're going to have problems with it.
Can't stop him going right.
If Portland has a chance to steal this series or to make this a series, he's going to have to get downhill, and he's going to have to get Victor Wembanyama in foul trouble.
But we have to give credit to where credit is due. David Dennis Jr. coined the phrase that the new stat for Victor Wembanyama is the hell nah. Like you drive in and hell nah, I'm not going to shoot that ball.
Yep.
But I do think that Denny, he's been one of the most delightful players in this postseason, in the play-in.
Fearless.
Because people are starting to see how his approach to the game is just relentless.
And look, more free throws per game than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, right? So he's really crafty.
But he earns them.
Yeah, he is crafty when he's trying to get to the hoop there. So that's going to be an interesting, a lot of firsts in that series that we're going to get to see. Like a lot of guys getting their first tastes of the playoffs here. But if we could turn the page maybe to a more familiar playoff matchup, I know we're all looking forward to. For the third time in 4 years, we got Denver and Minnesota. They are meeting in the postseason, and this is shaping up to be a rivalry because back in 2023, Denver took down Minnesota in 5 games. They went to their first championship, and they won that, their first in franchise history. And then the following year, it was Ant and the Timberwolves. They came back from down 20 in Game 7 to beat Denver. So here's what Ant had to say about the Nuggets.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else to call it but a rivalry. Yeah.
Is that good for the league? You don't see a lot of rivals in the league anymore. Do you think that's good for the league?
I think it's a lot of rivalries in the league now. Yeah, for sure. I think me and Denver is one of them.
A little bit of everything, like you said. Probably got to call God and talk to him for a little bit and, ask him for a few favors. But it's going to be a tough matchup. He's an incredible player. He does so much on the floor for that team. So it's going to be a battle, but, we're prepared. We're ready for it and, step up to the challenge.
See, Danny, you heard me at the beginning of the show. The most intriguing matchup is right here, Minnesota, Denver. Let's break this down. Let's take the stars of this matchup. I'm the post player, so I'll take the post for Denver, and you'll take the guard for Minnesota. Let's talk about Nikola Jokic because it's wild. He is averaging a triple-double, 28, 13, and 11, and he's so good off the bounce. He's the perfect combination of force versus finesse. He wants to get that two-man action with Jamal Murray. It does not matter. He has a pirouette. I know people said he played water polo, but was he a ballerina or something to get downhill against Randall, against Gobert? He can feast. Versus Randall, he's mobile. Versus Gobert, he's able to still get these straight line drives. But watch, he uses the force here to throw Gobert, the defensive player of the year, multiple times off. And then he has a nice little spin move right there again. And of course, that signature touch. How good is he against the Timberwolves? Let me tell y'all, he shoots around 71% against Randall and over 60% versus Gobert, who are tough defenders in the NBA. So when it comes to post game, Denver's got it on lock. Okay?
Yes, they do. And like you said, it's gonna be fun to watch because why? Like Anthony Edwards said, me in Denver, we have a rivalry. He didn't say the team, so I believe in Ant. It's the rest of the guys I don't believe in. But you better believe Denver's gonna throw traps at him like this. Jokic is out on the floor. They're gonna make him make plays. And this is a guy, Rudy Gobert, rolling to the basket. This is a guy that you want to be quarterback and make the plays. Right here, Rudy gets the ball. He makes the right play. He sees the 3-on-2. Julius Randle cuts that back door, works the dunk area. He makes a small little bounce pass for him for easy finish and a layup. Second opportunity here, they're going to double him. Even with the DHO, you got Jokic here. They all done with Peyton Watson, showing crowd. You have Julius Randle. He's wide open. He's a better quarterback. This is the guy you want to make plays.
True.
Anthony Edwards overthinks it a little bit, tries to outthink the defense, pump fakes the ball and tries to throw a corner. Strawther gets a hand on it, and it's a bad possession for them offensively. They have to shoot a half-court heave, and as you see, in the pick and rolls, 15 pick and rolls, they have 4 points in those pick and rolls when he's blitzed. So they haven't been very successful in the blitz. They're going to have to figure that out. That's going to be on Anthony Edwards, and I believe he's going to do that. But I'm trying to see if Jaden McDaniels steps up and Julius Randle. So those are the two guys that I'm looking at to help make this a really good series.
You know what's interesting? It's WrestleMania day today. Styles make fights.
Our guys, Tristan and Naman, but we are just about 21 hours away from playoff basketball. It's the best time of the year. Can't wait. So let's head out to one of my favorite cities, New York, because I have a feeling that potentially one of us may have them going a little farther than a lot of people expect. So it's time for our future spotlight, brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. So we're going to start in the East, Janae. I put the cart before the horse. Who do you have in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Okay, I'm done with doing picks because people hate us for picks.
Yeah.
From now on, I'm doing Janae's manifestation.
Okay, there you go.
And I'm manifesting New York Knicks coming out of the Eastern Conference because they are designed to beat teams like the Celtics. We saw that last year. Then they stumbled versus the Pacers. Right the wrongs. This is an open year. There hasn't been continuity on that side. And so I am manifesting The New York Knicks.
Do you manifest? You spend money on manifestation?
Absolutely not. They're free.
Okay,
It's 100% free.
Who you got?
I'm going. If you asked me this a month ago, I would have said the Knicks. But right now, I got Boston. They're just too up and down for me. So I'm going with the Celtics.
Hey,
coming out of the East, they look really good right now and hooping. Jason Tatum's back, which nobody thought he'd be in this position right now.
But the Knicks looked good against the Celtics.
True.
And I still believe that even if there weren't the injuries, they would have come out of that series last year. Okay, to the West now. Chanae, who's going to come out of the West?
No, rephrase that.
Manifest. Who's going to
manifest? Where who are you manifesting?
If we continue to have different champions, I would love to see Wemby just take over the world tour. So give me the San Antonio Spurs.
Oh, she's manifesting.
As much as I would love to choose them too, I have to go with championship DNA and experience. I'm going to go with Oklahoma City Thunder.
All right, and then your finals pick, Chanae?
1973, 53 years. It's time that they finally get over the hump. Manifesting the New York Knicks. You're welcome, Stephen.
They are a bad matchup for the Spurs if they both make it out. I'm going to go with Oklahoma City Thunder having a repeat. I'm with Tim McMahon on this one. I think they can get this done. First time in 7 years we see a repeat champion.
He's head, I'm heart, clearly.
On DraftKings Sportsbook, all customers can get a profit boost every day of the NBA playoffs. Download the app. Use the promo code SCREEN when you sign up. You really went out on a limb here. I am curious though, if the New York Knicks are to get all the way to the NBA Finals, what is it that they're going to need to do?
It's going to be interesting, especially starting off with Cat, because they tried to improve his defensive ability, making sure he's not in drop coverage all the time. It's going to be their defense that takes them through.
Me, it's always been Cat. Cat's been the X factor for them throughout the whole playoffs. He had a great one last year against Indiana, even teams before that, Boston. So if he plays well, they go that far. Obviously, OG, Mikal, those other guys, but Cat is the main ingredient to them being successful.
All right, so that's coming up this weekend. We get the start of the playoffs, but we still got 2 more spots on the line tonight. So who are we taking? The Suns or the Golden State Warriors?
I'm never betting against Steph, okay?
Yeah,
all right.
I learned my lesson.
We're going with the Warriors, and then over in the East, is it Charlotte or is it Orlando?
City.
Again, manifesting more.
Yeah, Orlando.
Was that it? Was that better?
Yeah, earlier it was like a taser. Like,
so what is it? What's the right one then?
There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Like that. We're going to be back next week. NFL Live is next. Enjoy the playoffs this weekend.